Hello, how is everyone? How are you doing? I know there's a little bit of a lag, so I'll wait for people to come in. Always great to have you. So this is a slightly rebranded Write With Me, just to kind of make it a little bit more clear what our intentions are, I guess, because treat this like an office hours. If you've got any questions about Novelcrafter, or you want to know anything about AI writing or what we're working on, always happy to help. And then when there's no questions, I'll just do some writing. Um, but yeah, feel free any point during the stream to come in. You can always ask questions in the comments as well, and I can get to them next week. Hello, Emery. Hello, Corey. Hello, Nikki. How are you all doing? Nice to have the regulars there. And you guys too, if you've got any questions, I'm always happy to help as well. Um, so yeah. I'll see if does anyone have any questions like when we're starting out. If not, I guess we can begin with our next chapter because we worked on chapter 7 last time and now we're on chapter 8. I think we started generating some prose for it. But I'm not entirely sure. Just getting my headphones in. I have some new headphones as well. Although I don't want to use them when I'm if I'm actually like in calls because I don't know which microphone would get used. But yeah, let's get started. Only dogs left. My God, it's been a while. There. 7 days since I last worked on this. I think you know. Okay. Where did I got up to? Okay. So I think I'm on rewrites, kind of just quick go straight from the top. I'm not even going to drunk Claude this yet because I think there are a lot of things that I could fix. How did chapter 7 end? I think is also something important to look at. Okay. Um, so, oh, good morning, Jen. Oh, it's lovely to have you. Yeah, no, it's nice. Yeah, I know it's a awkward time for a lot of time zones. So I like in the morning and yeah, but no, we appreciate the company. If you have any questions about anything Novelcrafter related, we're here in the office hours to help. If not, sit and chill and write with me. What projects are you all working on? Okay. Part of me is wondering if the tone shift is a little bit jarring. Like, obviously, it's the next day between the two, and we don't exactly know what happened. I think I might just start this off with your like Zora. Good morning, Circus. How are you doing? What are you working on today? Um, oh, steampunk dark fantasy. Do you want to tell us some more? I'm working on, yeah, I'm working on Only Dogs Left, so it's like a apocalyptic dystopian. 2020's killing me. Um, Emery's working on her romance thriller. Oh, nice. How is Drunk Claude doing? Like, it's been really doing some gems recently. I know people have been sharing them on the prompt, and I always love, like, it's one of my favorite things. Like, if I've drunk Clauded in these streams, I'll be there sending, like, my husband, like, little notes and being like, yo, like, look at these gems. It's absolutely amazing. Your dark fantasy is about a group of orphans figuring out life with some weird demony things happening in the sewers. Nice. Got a bit of a horror vibe then as well. Or at least things in the sewers make me think horror. um, Jen is writing a historical fantasy. Loves steampunk. Quick question. What is all this talk of Drunk Claude lately? I missed it in the Discord. Okay. Jen, you are going to be blown away. So, wait. Okay. I'm pausing my music for this. So, um, there is Corey. Is the link to Drunk Claude actually in the summary still, or should I get, or do I need to like grab it again? I'll grab it again just in case. I think it's just like right with me, isn't it? Okay, so I will put it on this document. Drunk Claude is essentially a prompt that we developed to give brutal but accurate feedback based on the premise of there's in coding where if your UI, your user interface isn't good enough for a drunk person to navigate around, then it's too confusing. So we recommend using, I don't know why I've got all these other, I'll leave it with just the default settings. This prompt doesn't use any context from your codex either, so it's kind of basing it just on the writing. And if you feel anything is out of character, it means you're kind of like, okay, well, your portrayal of the character in the scene isn't working. And then there's like some questions that we get it to answer. I will copy to clipboard. Code. So here is Drunk Claude for you. If you just copy this, Jen, and then go to your prompts and then new, and then create from clipboard, that's how you transfer it over. And basically, you just want to put your scene as context. So go to chats, new thread, add the scene that you want analyzing as context, put in your prompt, and then be like, I mean, I always say have at it because I'm trying to set the tone of it being very casual and kind of like, I want it to be brutal, but you could say, let's go, anything, start. And then they go at it. Let me get an example. So like here. This is with chapter 6, scene 1. I just said the let's go. And then he starts doing all the stuff that it's been prompted with. So does that all make sense? Hopefully I explained everything there. Let me know if you've got any more questions. I'll do a run of it on after this. Yeah, Jen, it's quite incredible. Okay, Copesta. I've noticed quite a few new feature requests for author notes. Could you take a minute to show off the section functionality and how to navigate the plot line on the right side to jump to sections? Of course. So sections you make in the same way that you would make your beats. You do the forward dash, and then you scroll down, and at the bottom there is section. Now, I like using these in author notes. You can give it a title. So author note Delilah's character. Here are my notes. You can then choose to color this so it stands out. And also this toggle here is great for author notes because you can click on it and then it's excluded from the AI. And by the section being excluded from the AI, it means that none of your prompts are going to read up and include it. So author notes, research, editing, if you've got any not safe for work content, all that kind of stuff is really good for putting in these. And you can also minimize the sections as well. So if they're quite long, like you can with Scene Beats, and you can move them around. So they're very flexible in terms of what you can use and how you do. And you can also, within your sections, you can still do AI. So if, say, you had a kit bash and you had a few different versions and you wanted to edit it, you can still edit within the section just as you do within the normal interface. And then once you're done, you can choose to copy the content, to dissolve the section, which gets rid of the section but keeps the text, or you can choose to delete it all. You can also navigate through your plot line, and like, so obviously we've got here our different scenes. Say in just here we have a random sentence and we've highlighted it, and say yellow highlights mean we're going to be doing, I don't know, we're going to add dialogue. You can see that now it's been added to the timeline at the right hand side, and you can click on this and then it takes you to where it's been highlighted. So you can then make your changes. So it's another way of editing. I like, as another editing tool, to make a codex entry in other, and then be like edits. I think I've got, wait, have I got an edits already? Yeah, so I've got an edit section here where I can put in here different progressions. And so if I go, so I can go to scene 5 and be like, okay, well, if I'm going to look for where this progression is, so you can see here, Codex Edition. And we have the characterization Codex Edition, and then you can track all your edits that way as well. If you don't want to use if you don't want to use sections, or you want to be able to easily find the scenes and track the changes that you want to make. Hopefully that answers your questions. And yes, we can add that to our stream list. We're kind of trying to do some basics streams during the class hours as well, to try and help familiarize y'all with the features. I don't think there's any videos in particular covering kit bashing. However, if you go on part 2 or 3 of the Saturday streams from this week, you can see me kit bashing in action. Like, kit bashing is basically generating multiple versions of the same beat, like either using different models or slightly different prompting, and then putting together your favorite bits of each. So like when I'm doing these Write With Me's, I often kit bash in order to get something I'm happy with during the first pass. And I kind of do that as like, that's only once I've finished kit bashing is it considered my like finished draft, you know? Oh, amazing. I hope you enjoyed. It was a lot of fun. We were making a demo novel that's going to be coming into the software soon, just so you can kind of get an idea of like the different parts of it. So we're still working on it, but it's getting there. So what's the job? I want like a creative. Do I need Nova forbid? I don't know. Literally, I need a good thing. I want to expand this, I think. She doesn't need to be snapped back to reality. So I think probably in an original kit bash I did, there was something in this area that wasn't quite working, or like I didn't have fully sorted. Um, hmm. What do I want to do? See, these things, there's so many questions like when you're looking at this, and it's like trying to work out like where you want to go. I want to add in a beat. Delilah. Delilah. This is gonna be a really short beat in the end. If you stop and lower your guard. Okay. She ran her fingers on Seam's face. Okay. Lila grimaced as she wriggled through the narrow duct. Knees. Well, it's obviously her knees. Knees scraping against the rusted mill. Flickering light from her headlamp cast eerie shadows on the walls. I'm going to say off uneven panels. She squinted. See past the haze. She moved on to the next one. I want to rewrite this, but like wiping her streaming eyes, like Okay, so Jen says, I think I'm going to review your videos again for the prompts. Are the ones that you're calling from now the specific ones you call up in the scene beat covered in other videos? Probably, yeah. So the one that I do at the moment is I'll share it again. It's Kate's voice, which is one that Corey developed that works on basically you put in the genre, or you have your genre, you have a theme, and then you've got your snippets, and in your snippet you put in a chapter of your writing, ideally the chapter before that you're working on, but it can be anything just with your writing style, and it kind of helps the AI mimic it. It's not perfect, like there are still issues, definitely, and you have to edit a lot, hence what you're seeing now, but it kind of gets you past all those AI-isms without having to write a long prompt. I'll also put this in the document. Oh, it's not a hit. And you can change that to ask for any word count. Like I have a few for different word counts so that I don't have to like keep changing it. And I find that roughly about every 150 words, that kind of like I can guess whereabouts it is. And that was I only have Sonnet in, but you can try different prompts, different temperatures and the like. We find that usually with Sonnet the temperature doesn't make a huge difference, so but again, experiment. I have a few other prompts, some that are adapted from the general purpose prompt for different streams. I also have a fine tune one. Okay, so maybe I can look at the word count of the sample you provide and replace writing on my own with a similar word count. So your sample chapter doesn't have to be the same word count, because the instructions say it's basically just here's the story so far, use the style. So my snippet is, or my sample chapter here, that's 2,500 words, but I'm doing beats of much less than that. It's just giving a decent chunk. So as long as it's stuff that you've edited and you're like happy with, then it's fine. If you've not looked at it yet and it's like AI heavy, then it's going to make the problems worse. So you have to make sure that it's like half decent text to begin with. So it can be edited AI text or it can be handwritten text in your voice, like whichever you prefer. Oh, you're very welcome, Jen. If you've got any more questions, feel free to ask. I'm happy to talk about the prompt. And like it's great because it's so universal. So if I'm working on different stories, I have sample chapters from those stories. So the voice changes. Like, for example, in my cozy Greek fantasies, I don't want a character swearing as blindly as Delilah does. It wouldn't. The protagonists are two very different characters. So you kind of want to keep that in mind as well. Yeah, all the questions are great. Keep them coming. Like it helps us know as well, because if you ask a question, there is a 99% chance that someone else has the same question. So it means that we can make documentation or videos or answer questions and like clarify those issues, and get you writing. So yeah, ask away anything, even if it feels like really small. It's the kind of thing that we were all asking when we first started using the software. So like sometimes I forget that this software like only went into alpha like a year ago. Like it's insane how, so yeah, I've only been using the software for a year. Maybe slightly under. So there's a lot of stuff here that's been added over time, and like even I forget about different features. Like sometimes Space will be like, oh, why didn't you do it that way? And I'm like, wait, you can do that? Because I just kind of forget because you get used to your own workflows. So, ask questions away. If I don't know the answer, I will try and find it out. And we've got some walkthrough guides coming through soon. And of course, the new video yesterday that we uploaded. Falling into a I sometimes wonder if like if people haven't been to the stream before and they're just seeing me like dancing and typing, they're just wondering what on earth is going on. But fight, fight, fight. Open shutter, clear debris. Amidst the mindless. Yes, there will likely be a musical interlude with singing as well. Yeah, I try not like, but sometimes the music's just so catchy. And like it just stays in my head. And no, I'm glad you guys like a write-a-thon like this because it is definitely not professional vibes of like, intense writing. This is me sitting at my desk having a jam, talking to myself and occasionally singing. Um so good thing we don't have to worry about copyright strikes either. So yeah, I'm glad you guys don't mind. And still come. What are they doing to Kira? Where are they doing? The Colosseum already, or were what if she just disappeared? Um, Eden. Okay, cannot for um. Curiosity, the ever-present itch that crawled up her spine, got the better of her. Okay, J. Fedbar, new Novelcrafter user/writer. I'm in chapter 1 of a novella in the right tab. I have a scene beat and do a couple of generate prose. Then I want to. Okay. So, yes, what I would suggest if you're going to clear the beat after, move your, like, grab your text and put them into a snippet before you press clear beat if you think you want them back. You should be able to get your text by going. So, if you go to the top of the chapter, your scene summary might be at the side, the right hand side. I've just moved mine here. If you go to actions and then scene contents, you will be able to load up your history of past generations. So hope of like past saved states, which saves every few minutes. Like, so if you go back, you should be able to get it. Just keep having a look, and ideally it will be within there. But yeah, if you worry at like, I mean, I have so many just random snippets with like kit bashing, so I think it's totally fine just to put stuff your prose generation in a snippet and then go back to it later if you need to. No. Yeah. Okay. Amazing. Well, let us know how that goes, Jay Fedber. Um, fingers crossed. That gets you everything back that you need. Yeah, it can sometimes be annoying when you like delete everything and it goes. But yeah, putting the wrench. Oh, don't worry. I will try not to. Wait, now he's gone. Let's have loads of gossip. No, it's fine. I'll see you in a minute. Circus. Um, do you ever have it where like you always spell a word wrong, even though you've written it so many times, and like you keep forgetting? Like on Saturday, passenger. For the life of me, I couldn't get the A in there. I kept like the not the first A, the later A. And now panel can't spell it with one N for some reason. My just automatically I'm typing it with two. At the far end towards the core of the building, she found another panel. One. This way. I don't know if any of you have noticed, but the background is a slightly different amount of mess behind me. Chaos. Slightly different amount of chaos behind me. Because I've moved where the desk is. But if you're interested, you've got a different view of my studio. I'd say all the chaos is there for sound reasons, but it's not. At least I know what I'm fighting for while you're fighting to be known. Yeah, very much. Yeah, exactly. There's just some words that are really simple, and you're like, I don't know why I keep spelling it wrong all the time, but it's just spelt wrong. One day you might understand, one day, but not today. One smaller than the others. Copesta says occasionally. I've been typing. Oh, occasionally. Oh, the word occasionally. Not been able to. Been typing it in wrong for decades. Brain knows it's one C and two S's. Fingers don't exactly. Also, and then like when you have like predictive text and it fixes it for you, you never have to worry. Yeah, I mean to be fair, I have that so many times where you just like you have a word in your head and you just can't. It makes me appreciate people who don't speak English as a first language because like when you know what a word is but you can't vocalize it, it sucks so much. Okay. Jay Fed also asks, is there a best practice or rule of thumb on how many sentences should go into scene summaries? I tend to get carried away with them and end up almost writing fine detail beat prose. So it depends on your school of thought, I think. It is very situational. The way I will tell you about the way I do it in my writing, and then maybe other people could share how they do it in theirs to give you an idea of the different ways. So, like, what I do is different pre prose generation and post prose generation. So before I start my story, to be fair, I really need to update these. Like, so like this is the scene that I'm working on. It's quite a long summary, some of these, and they've got a lot of detail that then goes and gets put into my beats, and then once, sorry, my music just cut off midway. That was weird. I'll look at that in a sec. So then once I've made my chapter, I'll then do a short summary, kind of like this. So maybe like 50 to 60 words, just describing the core things that happen. It depends on how much is you need for the AI in the next chapter to be able to understand what's happened when it looks back. Like ideally you wouldn't want something like super long, like so that's 153 words. So you might not want that much because if you've got 10 chapters with 150 words as your summary, you might not want 1,500 words being able to be sent to the AI every single time that you write. And likewise, if you only had like a 20-word summary, there might not be enough detail. So it's getting like a ballpoint. Like the default prompt in Novelcrafter asks for about 50 words. And I think that is a good interim amount. But if you're not writing with AI, you can put in as much as you want. Like, because it doesn't really matter. And like before I write the chapter, I have really long summaries because I need to know what's happening. And so it's more like, you know, I put them in as placeholders for all the information that I'll then have. Hopefully that answers the question. I kind of rambled a bit then, but looking through one of these slats. Okay, so Emery says that she continually goes back and edits down the summaries the further you get into the novel, and can always see what's crucial for the AI to see. Yeah, I think that's another good thing, like a good thing to keep in mind. Like the third chapter in your story might not matter by the time you get towards the end. Like it mattered in terms of context for earlier stuff, but it might not matter as much then. So you can always like get rid of things. Or turn off the AI context for that scene, different things like that. Because at the end of the day, the you don't need to have the full summary in there if you don't want it, or you can change your prompting to only take the previous act summaries. That's sometimes people do that as well. Okay. Yeah, I think like the thing with a lot of tools, I think like not even just Novelcrafter, just tools in general, you kind of just have to keep playing around with them. Like there are so many times people have like new prompts. And I'm like, oh my god, that seems so cool, but I just don't have time to try them all out. Which I want to have more time. Um, That damn voice she'd heard every day of her life. I think Nicodemus is the oldest person that she knows, and so she's like, "Oh my god, old people older than Nicodemus exist? What is going on?" By an impenetrable storm. The people Oh, Jen says, glad you mentioned that about editing the summary. I can't believe I didn't think about going back and doing this. I'll do it now. Yeah, editing your summary is so like useful. Like just getting the word count down, getting all your ducks in a row, and like often things that I'll find things that I put in my summaries might not actually then happen in the scene. I might change things around, or I might decide I don't want that to happen, and then if it's in your summary still, it'll completely muck up everything. Abigail says, if I exclude a scene from AI context, does that only excludes the summary, right? I think I'm not entirely sure. I would assume it would. However, if you go on chat and then go onto your final prompt preview, you'd be able to tell. Like if you only had one chapter in a scene. Let's give it a go. Oh, okay, yeah. Spaces answered that already. Then that's fine. Copester says, not sure if it's worthy of a feature request, but if summary length was a percentage of a scene length, that would ensure the AI doesn't drop details for long scenes. That's true, yeah. You could do something like that. I mean, you can make your own prompts for scene beats summaries. Like, so if you go on like summarize scene, you can configure your prompts and make your own just as you can with any other type of prompt. So you could get it to, you could try and find a way of wording it, or you could do different prompts with different lengths, like I do with my prose generation. Father, I never was. We're doing everything we can. That's one thing I don't get about Claude. Like, it's amazing, but it keeps putting Zs everywhere. And like, I tell it not to. I mean, it's fine. It doesn't really matter. It's more just it following instructions. I don't know if I want Blackwater as it. I'll just replace it later. So I want to edit this bit. So we have the killing cost and our okay, Space is going to do some testing. So I'm just imagining her like the cat gif of clacking away furiously on a keyboard as she's testing out new prompts for us all. One day when we have a prompt hub, or to be fair, we could share it on the Discord. So Poseidon. I don't want any excuses, Blackwater. What progress have you made? Ruthlessness is mercy upon ourselves. You are the worst kind of good, 'cause you're not even great. Keep at it. Totally could have avoided all this. But no. Be repaired quietly. Oh my god, always pounding in the chest. Oh, you get to see a bit of kit bashing now. I can't remember who was asking for it, but I'm going to be adding in a bit. I think these are my notes from last time. I think the monster that information. Possibility. Why would she see his smile? His back is to you. Oh my god, it's had him signing a quizzing a quill. Like, dude, there are so many biros out in the world. Like, I'm sure 300 years in the future they still have biros. I'll just add some more ink to it or something. Okay, yeah, I need to kit bash there. Oh, Jen. Oh, it's glad to have you here. If you have to run off, yeah, no, they're at the same time every week. So we're always here, ready to help. And yeah, if you have any questions, bring them. Same time on Saturdays as well for a more like formal class. But yeah. Nikki says that her husband might say that I have enough biros notebooks to last me 300 years. Oh my god, same. Like I just have a shelf of aesthetic journals that are not used at all, or like have like 3 pages used, and then I've changed, and I don't want to like write anymore. And yeah, I'm very much a station. I was a stationery hoarder in my 20s, and I have so much of it now. It's great. But my husband also collected a lot of notebooks, so our loft is full of books if I ever need one. And then I started doing bookbinding as well, so I've got loads of books that I've made myself. So that's cluttering up the house as well. Um, in with the right panel, chapter 1, there is actions, and I select chat with scene and select AI. Let's go to the top of the scene. Yeah, so you can select chat with scene. It depends on what you're wanting to do. So if you're wanting to make scene beats, then go for that. But if not, general purpose does most things if you're wanting to chat with a scene. So unless you're wanting to make scene beats, go for general purpose. So like if you were like using like ChatGPT or whatever, that's kind of the equivalent. So yeah, general purpose is mostly what I would suggest. Yeah, no problems. You can also have your custom prompts as well. But yeah, general purpose. Deep in the night, the final last rush. I'll help you conquer her. And then as I finish using a bit for kish bashing, I delete it. So you can see here I've got some more versions of the same kind of part. Anything I don't approve and you're done for. Well, you better run or soon you will be done for. Gosh. You and I are now evenly matched. Our fates are intertwined, they're attached. So I'm changing my formatting here so that it fits the content so I can just see the scene because yeah, I thought there was something else in this chapter that I had planned, and there is. Paper lying. Herself out of and fails miserably. Delilah did this, trying to talk herself out of miserably. Taking Delilah rushes to oh, hey, Sean. So, I'm not actively working on the Sherlock Holmes story today. I'm doing my normal write with me, kind of in the office hours. However, I mean, I guess I can kind of. We've been working on it as a sample document to go into Novelcrafter for anyone. So we're going to kind of like finish bits of it and include some like additional notes and the like. Um, it it will be added to my never-ending list of things to complete. But for the purposes of being a test document, we didn't need to have a finished story. We kind of wanted something that people could see the process through and stuff. I mean, if you want to hear more of the Sherlock story, you can always request it and we can add it to our stream list. But no indication is good. That's not happening. I'm just curious what you're working on. Is there a summary? Yeah, so I'm working on a story called Only Dogs Left. It's set in 1 minute. I'm sure I have somewhere like my elevator pitch. No. Um, it's um, it's set in a dystopian world, approximately 400 years in the future after an ice age has hit the world, that was unprepared for such ferocity. Um, in the city of Nova Bezos, that is kept warm in a giant with a giant dome over it, a la the Simpsons movie. Um, Delilah Harris is a mechanic in of the failing infrastructure who um, uncovers a rebellion that is more than it seems, and has to decide between principles and saving lives. We also have many dogs because dogs survived the apocalypse, because they can survive anything. And I can't seem to have a stream novel without a dog in it. So we were like, okay, well, let's stick 4 dogs in this. So we have many cameos of some very good boys and girls. Yes, hashtag team dogs. 90% of the reason I ship the pairing in this is because he has dogs, and who would not want to be with someone who has 4 dogs? Like 4 very nice, well-behaved, good boys and girls. Oh, thank you. I mean, I include most of the chapters in the Notion document. There's like links somewhere in the chat. If you want to read it. But yeah, no, it's fun to write. I enjoy. We started this as the sci-fi novel on the other streams, and then when we've kind of moved on to different topics, rather than plotting a story, I was just really enjoying it. So I thought, this can be my Write With Me stream. And I kind of usually, well, I'm on chapter 8. It's getting there slowly but surely. And yeah, so it's a nice project to work on. Delilah begins to search through the papers. I no longer dream, only nightmares of those who've died. Nothing's what it seems. Finding more evidence. Alright, let's see if this works. It probably won't. Lol. There is a world. Yeah, 450. That's not a world I know. I see portrayals of betrayal and a brother's final stand. I see. Oh, it did end there though. of death. I see you draw your final breath to make it home alive, but it's no longer you. We've suffered and sailed through the toughest of lands. Yeah. Bodies. The brother's final stand. I see you on the brink of death. I see you draw your final breath. I see a man who gets to make it home alive, but it's no longer you. Okay. The only one whose line I haven't crossed. What if the greatest threat we'll find across the sea is me? What if I'm the monster? Is he up in the middle of the night? When a god comes down and makes a fleet drown, is he scared that he's doing something wrong? Or does he keep us in check so we must respect him and now no one dares to piss him off? Does a soldier use a wooden horse to kill sleeping Trojans 'cause he is vile? Or does he throw away his remorse and save more lives with guile? It was having to rewrite entire paragraphs. It looked She rifled through, searching for something to make sense of it. Penelope, I've told you this before. You know I'm afraid of the water. Oh no. The things I do for you. Okay. Final kit bash. We are a different beast now. Why do I have... This is me organizing, like being like, okay, well, I should really do, like the prompts I use the most should really be easy to access. And they aren't. This shouldn't be in a subfolder. It should have like, I don't know, a 0 in front of it or something. It should be at the very top. It's the thing I use the most in this software. So this show don't tell prompt, part of it has formatting so that it formats within a snippet section. So then I get my 3 different options nicely there, and it returns the original text as well, so that we've not missed out on anything. Made a mistake like this. It almost cost my life. Nova's arse. Oh my god, I love that. That's a great new swear. So I delete. We is the one that conquers. You are a threat no longer. Okay, who was it that was interested in the drunk Claude? I think it was Jen, wasn't it? Oh no. Well, if she watches back, she'll get to see us do some drunk Claude. But is anyone else ready to see what Claude has to say about this? Because I'm kind of nervous. But I mean, it'll also be great, I'm sure. Analysis. Yeah, you all ready? Not much to say. You hide a reason for shame. Go, Claude. Okay, we're ready. Okay, sci-fi. Yep, that's fine. Okay, so we want to work a little bit on characterization. That's fine. So I've got a few. I like to write the follow-up questions as I go because there's so much to remember. I think the issue is sometimes with Drunk Claude is that it has no context of what we've written before. And so if you've not mentioned these things, it kind of doesn't work great. Something that as I get further in the story, I don't know whether to have something that it gives more context. I don't know. What do you guys think? Corey, do you have any ideas? Any of you who do prompting? Oh, okay. Let's ask if he wants some snacks. Yeah. Munches loudly. Okay. I think the issue is sometimes you need some like not flat characters, but like background characters that don't have that much, that they kind of are a bit less interesting. Scooby Snacks. Scooby Dooby Doo. I'll have a think about Zora. I don't know. She is in it a bit like me. I don't know. Okay, make that more obvious. I think a lot of these things, it's like, well, you can't sometimes, like, when you're seeing a conversation from another point of view, you can't show these things. Like, how are we going to know he's sympathetic to the rebels, but too scared to act on it during a conversation that, like, he says a few words in? So sometimes it's hard. You've got to take these with a pinch of salt. Okay, it's seeing all the scene. Okay. Okay, it's seeing the entire summary. Okay. Okay, I'm going to try again. If I look at. I'm kind of curious now if I go to the preview final prompt. So he does get the story so far. Maybe I need to change the preview a bit. Stress. Hiding away where only I can undress. Okay, let's see how this goes. In the end, it's all the same once I apply all the pressure under. Bring her through the ringer, show her what judgment call, the one who makes kingdom fall. Okay, so this is still giving brutalness. It's still feedbacking, but it does seem to. It's actually taking into account things a little bit more, which I like. Okay, well, given that it suddenly changed this so much, okay. I'll get you some snacks. What do you want? Also, what 5 things can I do to improve the chapter? Pork scratchings and a packet of cheese and onion crisps. Okay, very, very British. Or maybe throw in some of those little pickled onions too. Yeah, proper pub grub that. Okay, so we're in a pub. First off, you need to beef up those secondary characters. Zora and Gaius, flatter than weak old pint. Give them some quirks and personality. Maybe Zora's got a weird habit of cracking her knuckles when she's stressed, or Gaius has a lisp he tries to hide. Something that makes him pop off the page. Second, you've got to explain PDAC. Okay, I might repair that something different. Third, the pacing needs a bit of work. You're driving in Clara and suddenly slamming on the accelerator. Maybe spread out the revelations a bit. Give us a few more hints early on that something big's coming. Build that tension, you know. Fourth, lean into Delilah's claustrophobia more. You've hinted at it, but really make us feel it. Okay, yeah, I can play on that a bit more. Oh, I like the idea of her smelling cologne. Which will be revealed. It happened. Stuck in my bedroom thinking. Oh, just too far. Is it you I'll find? So then, give me sirens and a cyclops. I know life and fate is scary, but I wanna be legendary. Bees and chimeras, the Minotaur, even Cerberus. Life and fate is scary, but I wanna be legendary. Strangers in our halls, try to the heart of my mom, but she is standing tall. As you tell me. Takes to make my mom safe. So then, give me sirens and a cyclops. and a hydra. I know life and fate is scary, but I wanna be legendary. Good opportunity. How is everyone doing? Does anyone have any more questions? Whether about this or Novelcrafter in general, any general things? Whoa. Me. Around might be your last one too. To break when you and I are through. Phobia. Incorporate a little bit regarding glass claustrophobia. Keep it. We don't want to bash the reader with it. You can pick where is best to include this. I just made your thoughts quick. Right, let's try this again. I've seen plenty enough to really understand this kind of filth. Let's teach this dog a lesson in front of all his kind. One young wolf's a larger heart than all these men combined. Fight, little wolf, fight. Check out some bite, little wolf, bite. Strike, little wolf, strike. Okay, cheers, mate. Oh, proper good. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna I feel like she needs to apart. Maybe. Cause I got in a fight and I didn't die. Never felt strong before. Okay. Old friend, it's been 10 years since I last saw you. Remember me? Okay, we've got 15 minutes left, guys. We're on the final stretch. I want to get this chapter finished. I think I can get this chapter finished in this time. Or at least like this draft. Enemies close. Okay, not familiar with how you get drunk, Claude, and the moral implications. So, how you get Claude drunk? I don't know either. Well, so if you go onto the Notion document that's linked earlier, we've included it here. I don't know how we get Claude drunk either. It just is totally fine with it. It doesn't seem to have any moral implications or like argue in the slightest. It's like, yeah, sure, I'm a happy drunk. Maybe because it's a happy drunk. And you've set a roleplay situation of you're in a pub getting help. Oh my god, some dogs have just passed my window. Oh, they're so fluffy. Anyway, if you have a look, if you go onto the prompt and have a look, that I know that's not very helpful, but it's also the Claude beta models, which are a lot more lax because they're designed for writers or like for more creative outputs. So that probably helps. Calypso here to entertain. Do they hold Kira's? Yes, I'll check Notion and then the base models. Yeah. I mean, so if you go to Notion and duplicate the prompt, it's put it as the right Claude. So don't worry about that. But I think using Claude beta does help with that. I've never tried it with normal Claude. Could work. Make it drowned out by the... Oh, the lighting then went weird. Father, God King, really? Is there a custom prompts? Okay, so Harvest Handshake. There kind of is. Let me, there is no official one yet, but on the Discord we have an unofficial one. Let me get you a link. Discord. You can join our Discord here, and on the Discord is a unofficial prompts library where people share their prompts. I've shared many of mine there. So has the developer, Corey, like a lot of the staff have as well. And you can access them and then edit them at your will. Like they're all open access, like in terms of when you've shared them. So you can tweak them however you want, and you can see how they're built. In order to help you write your own. So the show don't tell prompt that I use was made by one of our moderators on the Discord, St. John Luke, who has made it, and he and I love the prompt so much. Like it's one of my it's probably my most used text replacement prompt. Yeah. So many sirens gone, I felt Holdy's in the wrong. Oh, you're welcome. Another day and sing another verse. Marley busy spiting the Cyclops, the pain that his mother felt and wrought. That was actually a really good rewrite to include those bits. I am surprised and like really pleasantly surprised. I mean, what did you... Now my Claude has stopped asking for alcohol and is asking for magic writing juice, so I guess that's a thing now. Oh my god. Just is your drunk Claude like becoming an author as well? Maybe he's now drunk writing Claude. His son's my friend. Tell your lover that a human heart mend. If you want more bloodshed, then set him free. To go back to his homestead, he'll make everybody bleed. So many. Well, you should prevail. Okay, here is the prose from this chapter. Oh, I didn't have Gaius. See, this is why I have notes. I didn't get Gaius to refer to the search of the house. Yeah, I think it's really cool. Like it does make... I might get it to help now with Zora. Or Gaius, maybe. We're working on... I told my Claude the beer would spoil if we didn't get a pop point fix. That helped him focus. I gave him a sausage roll later. That is beautiful. We treat our drunk Claudes very well. We make sure they're tucked into bed and they have a glass of water and some paracetamol for the next day. And, you know, we make sure they get home safe. Our writing buddies. One moment. Come on, that way. This way. I'm causing chaos as I'm trying to get Daddy Longlegs to leave the friggin' room. Come on, the window's right next to you. You're there. Come on, you can do it. Okay. I successfully stopped a Daddy Longlegs from dying in my house forever. Okay. We mentioned him trying to sound more educated when talking to the Archon as a possible option. Some more stuff too. Again, we want to keep mentions of this subtle as and not bash. Okay, I've put a little the fresh and smart next drinks depend on it. Like adding a splash of bitters to a gin and tonic. Here's a go to spicing up the old bastard. I mean, I don't think that... Just name See, the issue with some of this is it's good rewriting, but it doesn't include now the fact that she has all the claustrophobia bits. It's like rewriting them. Yeah, this isn't great, but, you know, it's still... But no, that's fine. And it is 6 o'clock. So I am going to head off here. Thank you, everyone, for coming to the office hours. And I look forward to seeing you next week. And of course, on Saturday when we do our normal stream. If you have any questions that you want me to cover next week, let me know. And I'm happy to, you know, chat about them. in advance or anything like that. You know, it is really, really, really good. Oh my god, Claude is like really, God. It's convincing as a cheap toupee on a rainy day. Bye, Novelcrafter person. Bye, YouTube person. Oh, you're very welcome. I am Novelcrafter Kate. Yes. Just letting everyone get their buys in. I got the power. Bye, Nikki. Bye, Emery. I got the power.